What's up, y'all? It's just Rhonda. Welcome to my channel. It's just another manic Monday. Good morning, Motown Investor. She's present and accounted for. I appreciate that. Take your time, child. That's what I did this morning, girl. I got over here and I realized I needed a little more time. I needed a few more minutes to get something in my stomach. So made myself a quick little bowl of oatmeal so I can get started with you, lovely people, this morning. How's everybody's Monday? Mine is manic. I just told y'all. I don't know why. I don't know why. You ever wake up and things just ain't moving as fast as you would like them? I did not do a morning walk, so I'm gonna have to figure that out later. I did 2 walks yesterday. I'm trying to double up. Y'all. I'm not playing. Like it's time. I don't really care about summer body. I'm way too grown for that. But I do like notice sometimes when I'm not as healthy as I could be, and my eating habits are bad, and I'm doing all the things that I shouldn't be doing. So I'm trying to fix that. My morning walks are generally good for mind motivation. I get, clear head and get some fresh air. It's like it's hot here, y'all. We already at summer. Might as well call it that. So when I get up to walk, I gotta leave the house by 6:30, or what it turns from a nice, morning walk with some fresh air is turns into like a hot box that you want to get out of. So yeah, y'all, we're here this morning. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and and if you're on the replay, make sure you track your steps. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. We love to have you in the conversation. So if you ain't in the chat, drop down in the comments. I love to hear feedback and different points of view on some of the things that we talk about over here. So since I took my good sweet time coming over here, we're gonna go ahead and get into the things that we get into when we do coffee talk in the morning. What am I doing? Messing up. It's, you know what? If y'all love me, y'all just can appreciate, my lack of internet savviness. I feel like I do as best I can navigating, you know what I'm saying? What is happening right here? Let's get into some Black history, because over here on Coffee Talk, we like to discuss Black history, Black excellence, a little bit of current events, and some celebrity gossip. So this is, when the conversation lately has been revolving around how we show up in our communities, and how other people show up in our communities and then treat us bad, sometimes even unaliving our children. We're going to get into it. And so just a quick reminder of how things were when we worked together as a community. And this is not about who gonna come over here and give us an opportunity, and who gonna how we're gonna receive our own. And it's not about that. It's that there are people out here right now as we speak, creating generational wealth. Like the media would have you believe that we just out here, struggling and scratching and surviving. And some of us are, but there are people out here who are doing big things. And so if we don't know about them, then we stay stuck in this place where, we're Black people, and, we're just being like targeted, and all of those things are true. But, I'm a very optimistic person, so I can't live in the negative. I got to live in a space that makes me feel like I know I'm great as an individual. I feel like we all need to know that about ourselves. But I want to channel my energy into the things that are going to make progress happen, and not like keep us stuck in a space that's not going to be beneficial at all. Then you're dealing with depression and drug addiction and all these other things. So I want to talk about what can we do to get it right. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, Paradise Valley was a business district and entertainment hub of Detroit's Black Bottom neighborhood from the 1920s through the 1950s. During this time, Detroit's Black population grew rapidly as migrants from the South arrived seeking work in auto industry. This is like my personal history. This is how my family, navigated up in Michigan from the South. My father's side of the family was from Arkansas. My mother's side of the family is from Florida. So, my this is like my actual history. We didn't migrate to Detroit. We migrated to Flint, which is, also a big part of the automotive industry. Anyway, housing restrictions confined them to one area, and inside it, they built something extraordinary. By 1942, more than 300 Black-owned businesses thrived there, including restaurants, doctors' offices, barbershops, hotels, and music venues. And I wasn't there in in the 1950s, but I was like a beneficiary to some of the benefits that, and being, connected to this Black city. Both Flint and Detroit had a high population of African American people. Anyway, Paradise Valley was the home to Gotham Hotel, considered one of the finest hotels for African Americans in the world. Legends like Billie Holiday, Duke Ellington, Count Basie, Miles Davis, Ella Fitzgerald, and Joe Louis all passed through its doors. Hastings Street was also where Reverend C.L. Franklin opened New Bethel Baptist Church and where his daughter Aretha Franklin grew up. Detroit's first Black mayor, Coleman Young, I remember the days of Coleman Young, later described prosperity of Black Bottom as unmatched. A historical marker notes that Paradise Valley rivaled the Harlem Renaissance as an extraordinary Black community. And how dope is that? Like, so you could travel back and forth between the two cities. You could do a New York thing, you could do a Detroit thing, and be treated well just within the community. So anyway, construction of the I-375 freeway in 1959 destroyed Hastings Street and much of the district. So they just decided to run a highway through it. In 2024, the Michigan Department of Transportation removed part of I-75 and returned the land to the city, opening a path to reclaim what was lost. And so we could see some of what that was. Over 300 Black-owned businesses. It says over 300 Black-owned businesses, the best hotel for Black Americans in the world, and the music scene so powerful that Duke Ellington and Billie Holiday and Miles Davis all came to perform on its stage. I mean, for those of us that grew up in this type of environment, you know what it is. And so I feel like, there should be a movement right now to make it, take it back, make America great again, so to speak. Detroit's racial housing restrictions confined them to the neighborhood, and they built an empire inside it. Yeah. Billie Holiday stayed there, so did Joe Louis, and so did every Black performer who passed through the Midwest. I bet you there's some good stories to be told about this era in Detroit. Detroit's first Black mayor, Coleman Young, grew up in the Black Bottom and later said, "I never saw prosperity in the Black community, hell, in the city, as there was then." Construction of I-375 followed in 1959, running directly through Hastings Street and ending the corridor that has sustained Black Detroit for decades. I mean, imagine that conversation. Imagine that conversation of how the powers that be sit around and decided how they were going to run a highway right through this area of, affluent, well-adjusted, well-to-do Black folk in Detroit. Anyway, the street I grew up on with my grandmother, my aunts, same thing happened over there. The neighborhood became a highway. Paradise Valley is coming back, and the 300 businesses, the music, the Gotham Hotel, and the people who built it are all the reason why it still matters. I mean, if we don't see that it has happened, if we don't see that it has happened in the past, then our children won't see that it's something that they can believe in. You know what I'm saying? We talk about representation and people needing to show up um, for their communities. Good morning to Go to Africa. Good morning, Lotus Egyptian flower. The good old days of Coleman Young. How were you? How old were you, Lotus Egyptian flower? I'm not trying to age shame you, but I barely remember. Like, I remember the good old days. Are you just, repeating me? Because surely you do not know about the good old days of Coleman Young. I'm just saying, girl. Anyway, we have to build within our own communities. I mean, and that has to be a vision. Um, the youth right now, I feel like you could say the same thing back then. You know what I'm saying? I guarantee you there was some hoodlums running around in Detroit that the community had to adjust and, control in terms of not letting them tear up, what's being built. And so, yeah, poverty, strikes that type of behavior, I feel like. So at this point in the revolution, we got to make sure the young folks know what it looked like. Because, if not, they ended over there in, carbonation with that crazy man telling them he got a better life for them. Anyway, recreating Black Wall Street. This is what I'm talking about. Some people with some money that, can make things happen and maybe build businesses within the community, inch by inch. It's just, probably not even easy to acquire. But anyway, I thought this was an interesting story. So we're going to go ahead and talk about it because, recreating Black Wall Street, we would love to be able to do that everywhere we go. It says a Black couple from Mississippi who turned a strip mall into new Black Wall Street are now looking to purchase a 276-room hotel on 6 acres. This is in Mississippi. I feel like I said, where the worst of things are happening, feels like they fighting the hardest. Mississippi, these southern states. So, and that's why they working so hard to redistrict down here. Ooh, we just all my life I had to fight. This is on Facebook. I'm trying to read it from my phone because otherwise we'll all be confused and nobody wants that. Ciao. It's not easy going back and forth from one situation to another. Okay, here we go. It says Tony and Elizabeth, the Mississippi-based power couple and founders of Riminique and Company. I'm not sure if I said that right. Riminique and Company, LLC, are currently eyeing the potential acquisition of a 276-room Hilton hotel property in North Jackson, one of Metro Jackson's largest hotels, sitting on 6 acres with 20,000 square feet of meeting space and an on-site restaurant. You know who need to invest over here? You know who need to throw a few coins over here? LeBron James. Since you was down over there in Tennessee talking smack, we could ride over to Jackson. That's a, up and coming Black situation. That way, when you come over to here, you can have luxury accommodations that would suit you. Anyway, I feel like people like him. Put your money, fix it, LeBron. Throw some money over here. Invest in this situation. It says, and this wouldn't be their first major. In 2022, Tony and Liz brokered $1 million deal to purchase and renovate a 20-unit strip mall, transferring it into Greenwood Plaza 2.0, a Black business incubator inspired by Tulsa's historic Black Wall Street. In 2023, they were named the SBA Minority Small Business Champions of the Year, and through their nonprofit Linked Up Inc., founded in 2017, they've been closing the wealth gap and providing free financial education, homeownership resources, and entrepreneurship support from their community. I'm going to read that last part again. It says, They've been closing the wealth gap by providing free financial education, homeownership resources, and entrepreneurship support to their community. That's what's up. That's what's up. Because if you don't know how to do it, you know what I'm saying? And you're like, I don't know where to start. Here's two people that are doing it, and not just doing it, but they're also giving education to people. You know what I'm saying? To learn how to do it on their own. Even if you don't have the funds to take care of it when you hear about it, you definitely can, be informed on how to get there. Ooh, y'all have said a lot to say. To go to Africa. Whoop. You said that was common in Black communities in the cities throughout the country. My city in North Carolina had a blooming Black Wall Street, and they destroyed it with urban renewal. I mean, to go to Africa, that's the story across the board. I grew up in Flint. It was a thriving Black city, but I think the issue was everything was reliant on General Motors, and when General Motors left the city, then the city suffered because that's where I'm a GM kid. That's where everybody migrated there to work for GM, and they were be able to, it was a middle class, something that we don't have anymore. You said Coleman Young's niece definitely saw it as the good old days. I mean, it feels like the good old days to me. I was too young to know what he was doing politically, to be honest, but you know, it just reminds me of the good old days. You said Durham. I know that it occurred there also. I feel like there's a lot of cities, like we've talked about it over here, that had their version of Black Wall Street, and you have two people here that are not only creating that situation within their own town, but offering free education for people for others. Like Jasmine Crockett, can you put this on your platform while you be down there screaming and hollering? We need you to scream and holler about some information and some resources. Who else? I mean, I don't know what Cory Booker does. Child, I don't want to talk politics. I want to talk business and resources. And for people that are always out here trying to gatekeep, information, you know what I'm saying? This is an opportunity. Maybe you're somebody who's not in a position to go to college, you know what I'm saying? But you have a job, you know what I'm saying? And maybe can put yourself in the same, even, like I said about Brian Gumbo, even though I would still love to be at that dinner table, you can find ways to ingratiate yourself. Like they probably have online seminars, and I'm going to look into it for sure, just because, I want to be able to share what I know, with you guys. But, and even though we're not nowhere near college age, like I'm sure we all have somebody in our lives that is college age. I just hatched a batch of babies at the salon that are graduating this year or last year. They all driving around, and when I met them, they were like 5 years old. So there's a new generation of young people that can have access to resources and hold their own forums. And this is how community works. And you start feeling community with people who are, educated with bright futures, instead of people who are on drugs and hopeless and don't care about anything. I just can't, express how irritating it is as a parent to see Black children running around calling something a takeover, when that behavior puts us in a position of, they were over here wilding out. It's like free time to, take out some Black kids. And so y'all need to do better. It's scary. Well, y'all over here on the internet, can't nobody read. What the hell is going on? You said we also had the Black-owned hotel, banks, restaurants, insurance companies, movie theaters, etc. Blacks in the community were very self-sufficient. It's true. We talk about it all the time. And so, you say, really, can you say why lotus Egyptian flower? Oh, y'all having a personal conversation. Anyway, yeah. So I think this is very dope. And I would like to see them do more, to be honest, because clearly they are. Clearly they are out here doing just that. Hotels are a big thing because, we see video after video after video. At least I do see so many people. Good morning, Jatoni. That so many people that are just trying to stay at a hotel, just trying to sit at their own, you know, community pool where they own a house. You know what I'm saying? Just what the hell does my president have to do with you? I got money. I purchase things just like y'all do. So, yeah, it's nice to be able to have some place to stay that's going to be luxurious and treat you well at the same time. We're not going to let this takeover spirit define who we are and our children are. For goodness sakes. For those who haven't checked your children for takeovers behavior, man, that shit pisses me off. Then you got this boy down here dead to the convenience store. And it's that kind of behavior that inspires the other. So anyway, in the other business ownership, entrepreneurship, history made. Khadijah Davis and Jamal Douglas become Slutty Vegan's first franchise owners. Davis and Douglas, are they not married? So they just went into business together. That's even better. There's no penis involved necessarily. Not that we know of. I'm not, I don't know these people. I don't know how they interact with one another. I just know that they got two different last names. So maybe maybe they're the kind of married I like to be, where you get to be partnered up with someone and, oh, my phone doesn't want to load now. You can be partnered up with somebody and keep your last name. Oh boy. Anyway, here we go. It says Khadijah Davis and Jamal Douglas continue to redefine what's possible through franchising. As the first U.S. franchise owner of Juicy Patties, I'm not familiar, and they built a scaled and multi-unit restaurant portfolio across multiple states. So they running around here franchising, y'all, which is a different way of looking at things. And I think it's, if you're this kind of people who you just, want to pick a business model and roll with it, it's another way, though, like I said, creating generational wealth and entrepreneurship. So from the first generation entrepreneurs to multi-million-dollar franchise operators, their journey proves that ownership, scalability, and legacy building are within reach. Building a multi-million-dollar franchise empire, first Juicy Patties, first Slutty Vegan, one legacy. The franchise empire has just begun. So I'm not familiar with Juicy Patties. Let's see. Let's look at it. I know this caught my eye because of Slutty Vegan, and we know how you spell it? WICI. What's this girl? Pinky. I'm trying to do too much at the same time. Juicy Patties. I never heard of that. Have y'all heard of that before? Juicy Patties. It gives me the location. Where's their website? Oh, it's Jamaican restaurant. So is this the Jamaican food that child, I need to find out where they at. I like Jamaican food now. Especially when you can find somewhere that has it. Um, Pinky over here on Housewives, who we've been seeing like how much she's been going through trying to run her business, Slutty Vegan. I've only heard good things about Slutty Vegan. Everything I've heard is the food is good. If there was one by me, I would definitely try it. I'm looking at y'all's conversation. Anyway, franchising is something I think clearly Pinky is struggling because she grew very fast. 14 locations is a lot of locations to be run by one person, and keeping your eyes on, people's hands being on the table. So she's had people like stealing from her and all kinds of drama. When you franchise, you have a business that's already built a reputation. You know what I'm saying? You take on the blueprint for the most part, and then you just run the business. And then that takes the weight off of Pinky, who I'm sure gets a percentage of the business, but doesn't have to worry about the day-to-day operations or anything that happens over there at That Slutty Vegan. Like, you do still have to worry about the reputation of the brand as a whole, but she's not financially responsible for anything. She's not financially responsible for anything that's happening over there. Y'all are talking about Lotus's grandfather, father. What'd you say? Your father went to a barber school in Durham. He always talks about the black-owned businesses, which influenced him to open his own barbershop. I mean, and again, that's the perfect example of reputation. I mean, of representation. To be somebody's inspiration, you never know. I'm always gonna cape for the barbers and the hairstylists, first of all, because that's my career path. Um, but I think a lot is not appreciated in terms of what it offers the community. And barbershops do better. You know what I'm saying? Salons do better. We have fallen into this place where everything is so much about money and not enough about customer service and keeping people around. I have built my business. I like the long money. I don't like the fast money. You know what I'm saying? I don't need somebody that's going to come in there and then pay like $800 and then I don't see them no more for the rest of the year. I like to build relationships with people. That's how you keep the money long, especially if it's somebody, whose company you enjoy. So shout out to the barbers. And we gotta do better. I feel like everybody needs to do better. We all gotta like both buckle up and take accountability for why the next generation is in this position that it's in. And I feel like it's because we got complacent. We grew up, and when I say we, I mean people in my age group, the X's. We grew up with the benefits, so we didn't really need to fight. You know what I'm saying? And then shit start falling apart. And we had built a generation of kids who had reaped all the benefits from the benefits that we were able to go to college and do things, own property, things that our parents weren't able to do. And sometimes it's a given, like you just take things for granted, and then you wake up and this is happening, the shit that we're dealing with. A lot of the racism and the discrimination has always been there, but the push backwards is what's, for goodness sakes, can we just move forward? Anyway, I'm going to show you her other one. The thing is, I feel like they're franchising with businesses that haven't already, like, it's not like they're going and grabbing a McDonald's. They're going and franchising businesses that already have multiple locations, you know what I'm saying, proved itself as a brand, and then they franchise it. And I think this is definitely going to be good for Pinky, like I said, and take some of the pressure off of her, because she's been, scratching and surviving, child. And over here on Housewives with all her business on blast. This is what Juicy Patties looks like if you've never seen it before. Best Jamaican restaurant. Let's go to the menu, child. I love Jamaican food. Oh my God, it's just a bunch of patties. That's a good idea. So this place doesn't even have to, this is an amazing idea actually. You don't even have to worry about a whole bunch of different ingredients and recipes and all this cooking. This is literally, and there was a Jamaican restaurant by my work. And I used to go over there all the time and just to get a, patty for my lunch. I get out of there. You're working. I don't necessarily want a whole jerk chicken dinner. So I would get the jerk chicken dinners to go. But this is an excellent idea. It's just the patties. Huh. Yeah, I'm gonna have to find out where they are. And just so you know, if you're thinking about franchising something, you can go over here and franchise, the juicy patties because they're already doing that. Let's see. What else is going on? Yeah, so I think that's really dope. Did I finish that article? Or did I just start running my mouth? I just seen some news. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Let me see. Let me see. Jamaican patties. Now I want Jamaican patties. I've been getting them, from the grocery store, but this would be so dope if I could drive through. I want a juice. What do you got? Not juicy. I want a slutty vegan too. Hey, Elsid. Elsid says like, share, and subscribe. Um, Man, I would be tearing up some Jamaican patty place. I'm gonna be mad if I can't find one locally. I'll tell y'all where they are. You can let me know. I love Jamaican food culture. I do too. Is it crazy? There's a story, and I'll look for it. And if I could find it, we could talk about it tomorrow. But how the Jamaican beach line, coastline has been bought up by, others, probably Chinese and Europeans. And now the locals can't use the beach, which sounds crazy to me, but capitalism. Let's see. I'm doing a lot, y'all. Going back and forth. I'm gonna have to delete some of these things for I won't take us to Timbuktu. Let's see what the first comment. Oh, it's just saying Pinky Cole still on Slutty Vegan. Yeah. Um, yeah, it's her business, but speaking of fast food, child, y'all trying to. I haven't run into any robots. Have y'all run into any robots yet? I've not. I don't want it. I think I'm gonna keep going. If your business got a robot at the window, I don't want it. McDonald's is replacing drive-through workers with an AI system called Archie across U.S. locations. Archie handled 90% of drive-through orders with no human help. Where is the Archie at? I don't want him in my neighborhood. Who I sound like? We don't need to be at McDonald's anyway. There's not even actual food in there. If I pull up into a McDonald's, because sometimes, I eat their breakfast sandwiches on the way to work, and I don't as much as I used to. Little by little, I'm just like, I have to be seriously like hungry and in a hurry. But McDonald's food is not actually food. So we shall, whether they got a robot or not. Can you imagine you got to go to work every day and your coworker is a robot? There's no other actual people in there. That's not weird. Anyway, McDonald's is once again experimenting with artificial intelligence in its drive-through lanes. This time with a new system called Archie Archie Q. I don't know. And a voice assistant nicknamed Archie. Okay, we just gonna stick with Archie. The system was reportedly introduced during McDonald's worldwide convention and it's being tested at 5 US locations. Archie is designed to take drive-through orders in multiple languages, including English and Spanish. Oh, y'all be over there at the drive-thru acting a fool. Archie got it. He's probably nice too. Anyway, while also helping restaurant managers monitor operations. Oh, and they got their eye on you. Archie is a tattletale. He's full of data. So if you try to sneak you a few fries, Archie is not going to have your back. Then you'll be down there, with a pink slip for, you know, theft of property because you needed a few fries to get you through the shift. Anyway, reports say the system has already processed more than 1 million transactions, with about 90% completed without human intervention. The current rollout appears to be a limited test, not nationwide replacement of employees. Yet. The new AI push comes after McDonald's ended a previous AI drive-through partnership with IBM in 2024. That earlier test was used at more than 100 restaurants, but became known for order mistakes that went viral online, including incorrect and unusual food combinations. They said IBM's robot thing was trash. So whoever these new people are, they done updated the situation, and Archie is doing a great job down to the drive-thru, according to them. The company's latest system is being developed with Google technology and is part of a broader effort to modernize restaurants. I'm seeing Google's name on too many things. I'm seeing Google's name on too many things. I'm just saying. The company's latest system is being developed with Google technology and is part of a broader effort to modernize restaurants, improve speed, and make drive-through ordering more efficient. While AI may take on more order-taking duties in the future, human workers are still expected to remain involved in preparing food, handling issues, and assisting customers when needed. Y'all about to be down to the job working for the robot. The robot gonna be like, Keisha, go in there and get them fries out that grease. Ugh, they're gonna be working for the robot. I don't know. What do y'all think about Archie? Sometimes I'll be very frustrated down to the drive-through window. So maybe we can be assured that Archie won't lick the fries. See what I'm saying? High vibe. That's exactly what I meant. Like, I'm seeing a lot of things, like the people got their feet on the counter down by the cookies, and yeah, somebody in there licking the fries. And if you do some shit like that down to this McDonald's where Archie worked, he is got his eye on you. Now I'm talking out of both sides of my neck. Yes, Archie is bilingual. He can speak all the languages. So there won't be any. One time, this was not at McDonald's. This was at Popeyes. One time I went to Popeyes, me and my daughter, and we pull up to the drive-thru, and the people that are at the window are calling stupid ass boy, bitch ass nigga, what the F is wrong with you? Like, they was going in, and I'm just sitting there like, do. Maybe somebody will acknowledge that there's a customer here and they can stop cussing each other out. And my daughter's like much younger. She's like, oh my goodness, there's a kid in the car. Yeah, they don't know that because they cussing each other out. Archie won't do that. Yeah. I don't know. Now I'm feeling away. I said I was pulling away with Archie at the window, but if I have to be forced to go to McDonald's, I might prefer mine with an Archie. We have a McDonald's drive-through only and haven't visited, so I don't know if Archie's not alone. He's there with people. He's supervising to make sure that, the kitchen runs smoothly, because not only is he bilingual, he's task oriented as well. He can do multitasking. You said, oh, y'all are still talking about, y'all are having a private conversation down to the chat. That's what I get for being inside business that is not mine. Yeah, I don't know. What do y'all think? Archie at the window? I feel like some jobs, though, honestly, it makes more sense to have, I hate to say robot, but I don't want to be at work when that thing short circuit and then he, be flipping out and I'll be trying to, get Archie the hell away from me in the bathroom door. Ugh. What is Archie short circuits? Yeah, that's what I said. Lotus Egyptian flower. I'm concerned that Archie might, iRobot me or something. I'm sorry if I ever encounter a robot preparing food, I'll exit the establishment. He doesn't prepare the food. He supervises the food workers, make sure they're not doing bad things, and he runs the window. That's what he does. So when you pull up, Archie's handing you your food. Now, I didn't have a problem with Archie over there. I don't know if it was Archie, it was another different robot. Was over there, stamping Amazon packages. Because to me, the way Amazon wants people to work, they need a robot for that job. But there's no customer service involvement. He's just going to do like Siri and be like, thank you. I wonder if you can get in an argument with Archie. Because me and Siri be fighting. Archie has a mechanic at the store, not a manager. No, the mechanic is probably not there. You're going to have to call him. I just seen a robot karate kick the shit out of a kid at some type of event. So, yeah, if Archie flipped out, you might, need a chair and a broom to keep him at bay. And he's probably really strong, stronger than you. It's like an episode of, a Marvel movie down to McDonald's. Ooh. Don't try to. I bet you his theft prevention is on point. I bet you won't come in there messing with Archie. I saw a video of a boy trying to snatch one of them take the girl out the takeout window. I don't know what restaurant it was, but the man pulled up, and I think it was a Starbucks. Pulled up, got his order, and then tried to snatch that girl out the window. Try to snatch Archie. See what happened. In Philly, we had a robot roll our order to table at the Thai restaurant. How was it? How was the experience? Did he wash his hands? Archie's the supervisor. That's what I said. He running at McDonald's. I don't know. I'm torn. I can't make up my mind how I feel about any of it. But the people that created AI have a warning for y'all. Claude maker and creator warns AI industry needs an emergency brake pedal. That doesn't make me feel comfortable when it's just me and Archie in the building. Now we need an emergency brake pedal. How does that work? Is it like a that emergency thing that you wear around your neck? I've fallen and I can't get up. Do you have a little emergency buzzer when Archie loses his mind and you're like, help, Archie's tripping? Okay, so one of the world's leading artificial intelligence companies is urging the tech industry to slow down and think about safety. Anthropic, the company behind AI assistant Claude, is calling Claude. Is he different than Archie? All these people. I guess Claude ain't Archie. Maybe they need to hire the folks where Archie working because Claude is flawed and he needs an emergency brake. AI assistant Claude is calling for what it describes as a brake pedal for advanced AI systems. The proposal becomes as developers race to build increasingly powerful technology capable of performing complex tasks and assisting with scientific research. If you get an robot, it better not show up at my door. That's all I'm saying. Keep y'all's robots at your own house. This seems like it's going to be a problem. I'm out walking in the neighborhood and here come your robot lost and crazy. I don't need that. I don't even know what to carry to protect myself from that. Grits. According to CNN, Anthropic executives believe AI could eventually reach a point where systems are able to improve themselves with limited human involvement. They're going to fix themselves. Tell me this, that we didn't watch this in a movie. I need to watch iRobot again. While the company says such advances could unlock major breakthroughs, it argues that safeguards should be developed before the technology reaches that stage. You think? Anthropic Anthropic company founder Jack Clark reportedly compared the current AI landscape to a vehicle equipped with an accelerator but no brakes. Oh, that doesn't make me feel nervous at all. What? He suggested that researchers and policymakers need reliable ways to pause or slow development of future systems being advancing faster than humans can safely evaluate or oversee. And you know what? Some humans are very smart, but smart doesn't always mean you're not dumb. You know what I'm saying? Because you can be like Elon Musk and others. The comments arrive as competition among major AI companies continues to intensify. Yep, these robot niggas is fighting with each other. And your child gonna be down there to McDonald's with Archie, with no brake pedal, just the gas accelerator. I'm back on I don't want it. I'm back on I don't want it. I'm sorry. It says, AI companies continue to intensify with billions being invested into new models, data centers, and computing powers. Anthropic says safety efforts should evolve alongside AI capabilities rather than after the problems emerge. For now, the company says its concerns are focused on ensuring future AI systems remain understandable. It says, let me start again. For now, the company says its concerns are forced on ensuring future AI systems remain understandable, controllable, and aligned with human goals as technology becomes more powerful. I don't like that word, powerful. This is concerning. I'm just saying. This was Iron Man and the Age of Ultron. See, you watch these movies and then you realize, oh, this was for real. So, how about that? These robots been functioning and unaliving folks, mostly their creators. Well, I mean, if somebody needs to go, that one should go first for making this mess to start with. Good morning, Miami Gardens Now. Miami Gardens Now be on her. She be over here. If you're not following her, you should follow her. She stay in the community. She's about that revolution. I'm inspired. You said 50 million versions of Frankenstein, the movie, have been made, yet humans won't learn. The robot is a reflection of one's lack. Since the creator lacks, the robot will not be fed. Okay. I know I don't want it. I know that much. I know I was like almost there driving through the drive-through of McDonald's with Archie, and then I changed my mind because these people said Archie might flip his shit. And just when you think you can get a little breakfast sandwich, you find yourself in fisticuffs down to the jailhouse with a robot. AI is using up water power. Yep. Pay attention to the people who are investing in water, which is how much they're going to charge for water or policy changes. I never thought of that. I did not think of that. And then when you get down to the polls, you'll know. Because they be down there smiling in your face, talking about what they going to do for the community. The whole time they're buying up land for a friggin' data center. Okay. Collect rainwater? Oh, we can't. High five. And I'm going to find that story and we'll talk about that tomorrow too, but it's illegal. Isn't that crazy? It would fix the problem, I feel like, but yeah, we can't. Let's see. You said I was turned down twice for a Chick-fil-A franchise. I found that I needed experience working there before they approved the franchise application. Well, I mean, That's what I'm talking about. But I feel like an investment in I can see why you would want to do that, an investment in a Chick-fil-A franchise. But these people over here are investing in businesses that are not McDonald's, not Chick-fil-A, not big brands like that. These are multiple, businesses that have multiple locations. I ain't heard nobody yet say Slutty Vegan wasn't good. You know what I mean? And so a lot of us don't have one near, but how many of us would go? You know what I'm saying? If you could, I bet you Archie ain't in there running the window. But it's an investment in a franchise. Is it a gamble that they're not as well known as Chick-fil-A? But let me tell you, in my neighborhood, a juicy patty place would kill, because there's also it's only islanders over here, from Puerto Rico to Haitians to Jamaicans. It's a multicultural Caribbean situation over here in my neighborhood. So depending on the location, you know what I'm saying, that would be a good investment. And it's also investing back in the community. You could even take it to the community. I can't guarantee you that you get anywhere near a Black community. You don't have to be in the hood, you know what I'm saying, but close enough to the community where people can get there and open a juicy patty place. And the environment and the vibe. We got what is it called? BurgerFi. I went to BurgerFi one day over in my neighborhood. I, don't eat there often because it's super expensive, but it's fresh. They cooking it fresh. And when I walked in there, everybody in there was Black. The people that were cooking, the people were behind the cash register. It might have been one Latina girl in there, but it was all people of color in there. They was listening to some Temptations or something, and I'm sitting at the table waiting on my food, and I was like, this was like the most pleasant experience I've had in a really long time. They was all vibing, singing and cooking, and if you're singing and cooking, I feel like that means your food is gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? Because you're cooking with love. That's a big deal. Anyway, yeah. There's other franchise options, and Chick-fil-A, you have to have work there. That's a cult, Chick-fil-A. Sorry. I'm sorry, Motown investor. That's a cult over there down to the Chick-fil-A. But they got some good lemonade though. Okay, what else we got going on? AI, no robots. Hell no, we won't go. This is sad, y'all. So, we talked about her before, and I didn't want to not close out where we are now, at least, about this young lady, Janae. What's her name? Ashley Janae. Beautiful girl. Anyway, unfortunately, Tanzanian authorities have officially wrapped their investigation into the death of 31-year-old influencer Ashley Janae, real name Ashley Robinson, ruling that she died by unaliving herself following a domestic dispute with her fiancé, Joe McCain, according to TMZ. Per a police report, back in April, after getting no response when knocking, a hotel employee entered Ashley's room where she was allegedly unresponsive, suspended from a closet rail by a guest robe belt. That don't. Anyway, let me finish. Official documents listed her cause of death as cerebral hypoxia caused by strangulation and suffocation. The investigators say the tragic incident followed a fight between Ashley and Joe, where hotel staff reportedly had to separate them. Joe later told the authorities that he found Ashley the following day after she had hanged herself on the door. She was rushed to the hospital on April 9th, but unfortunately didn't make it. While Ashley's family loudly demanded answers, Joe stayed quiet before finally speaking out, describing Ashley as his best friend and saying he was utterly devastated by her death. Yeah, sure he was. He also they I saw somewhere where her body was returned to her family and without the engagement ring. So he made sure he got that ring back um before he did whatever thing he did over here. What are y'all talking about? Oh, you're talking about Chick-fil-A. Yes, the whole code is homophobic. Oh boy. You said write those council members. Okay, they're finally building. This is Miami Gardens now. They're finally building a Juicy Patty in my neighborhood, and it's just less than a mile from Hard Rock Stadium. Juicy Patties is a big deal in Jamaica. I mean, I feel like it should be a big deal here. Like I said, I live, damn near on an island. So as far as an investment, I feel like it would do. It's a lot of food places that are catering to the Hispanic culture, and there's some Jamaican, but I feel like as a fast food, that sounds like it would work anywhere, anywhere where there's black people. Um, anyway, yeah, I didn't mean to get off the subject. I got in the conversation about this young lady. This is unfortunate. I don't know like how her family is going to find peace because this is so unresolved. I think eyes need to be on Tanzania. At least expose, you know, the government over there for their work. We talk often about where would we go and in the case we got to get out of here. Africa comes up a lot, but I feel like there's so many places with corrupt government. What's the name? Lisa Ray's ex-husband just got exposed for, where I forget where he's from. One of those islands, though, of being corrupt. Like governments are corrupt in so many places. I feel like you definitely want to investigate that before you pick up and go anywhere. But yeah, at least she's home with her family. She's not still over outside the country. And yeah, let's don't let this man just slink away without being held accountable for something. Tanzania is off the list, absolutely off the list. Um, but I feel like I said, a lot of countries, have corrupt governments, and yeah, it's scary, especially those small islands. Um, The police probably would rather take in the ring if he didn't. They might have. That might have been what kept him quiet. There was so much corruption and unethical activities. And that being said, we got to be careful about where we visit too. Like even if this wasn't the situation, if we can go visit somewhere, maybe it needs to be like in a group. You know what I'm saying? Where you're doing one of those tours where you got people around you. Because to just go visiting somewhere and then something bad happens to you and they're just like, yeah, no, we didn't see any problems over here because everything about that seems like a problem. I would say, look at her, how pretty this girl is. If she was going to do it, I don't feel like that would be the way. I don't feel like most people are going to do that, especially black people. They say his money brought him into high. I mean, I'm sure. I'm sure. I'm sure he has, a lot of money, and that is the reason why um he was able to get away with this. But, you know, anyway, like I said, she's here with her family now. Hopefully that, takes a little bit off and yeah, they're gonna have to keep, they're gonna have to keep fighting and keep fighting. And I'm unfortunately I feel like when you're grieving or just in general, you don't always have that much fight in you to keep going and going and going, and mourning and grieving at the same time. So the agents got something to say, y'all, after this man Chow took out this little boy and was allowed to walk freely. There's a conversation about boycotting Asian businesses. And listen, there is nothing violent about it. You can choose to spend your money wherever you want to, but if you choose not to, and while we're talking about franchising, it seems as though people with capital should be investing in nail salons and beauty supply stores, giving people an alternative. I know there's plenty of salons in the community, but nail salons too. And not, and I don't mean bring some luxurious thing that they can't afford over to the neighborhood. I mean, look at the demographic and look what services you can offer them, within the community, and everybody wins. But, you can't be out here trying to beat a man down over his dollar. We need to share the wealth a little bit. But anyway, there's been a conversation about boycotting these Asian businesses. Yeah, it's a lot. Turks and Caicos, that's where he was. This case has so many levels to it. Social media and thirst for content and love kept hurt in the relationship. Are you talking about, oh girl? See, I don't know that influencer lifestyle, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like, yeah, there is a lot involved in this, but also as women, we just in danger as it relates to men. And, and it's unfortunate to say that, and it's not to put that on all men, but there's just such a high number of men who are out here, black, white, all of them are out here doing, such horrible things. There may be a Netflix movie. I hope her parents reap the benefits if that's the case. You said part of it was love, or the illusion. Love is an illusion. Lotus Egyptian flower. It's all an illusion. It's not real. The situation was weird and wrong altogether. The country closed the case twice, so there's no true investigation. No, they wasn't going to investigate because they've been paid in full to make it go away. And they know that these people, her parents, are probably not going to be in a position to come over there and fight with them. So, here's her body, send her back. We have a hard enough time fighting what's going on over here in this country. Not only investing in nail salons, but investing in the distribution of the products. There's a lot of gatekeeping Black folks from some of the products. It's true. It's true. Then we create our own. I mean, that's the only answer. Then we create our own. That's another avenue where people can be hired to do things, And if we create our own, then we don't have to worry about shipping things in and out of the country, because it's a whole lot of, Chinese-made products over here. And this man is about to tell you about it. Hell, that's what happened to General Motors. Well, Tony, you've been a part of the revolution before yesterday. That's why you thought we've been boycotting Asians since the hair supply tax and those sisters. We should be, but this is the difference, Tony. They walked out of the store. It's one thing to be treated bad. It's a whole nother thing to be able to, pow a 14-year-old child in the back over water. We used to own beauty supplies. Policy gave loans to immigrants and the supply chains from China, straight infiltration. Yep. But the jig is up. So, what happens if we don't spend our money there? Like I said, it is what it is. And this man said they don't care. So let's give a little listen.
The Black community says, let's boycott Asian businesses. Please do. We'll get rid of the Chinese takeout, the dry cleaners, the laundromats. Let's get rid of the liquor stores as well. Get rid of the Jordans you guys wear, the Nikes you wear, the shower caps, the Hondas, the Hyundais, all your car electricians, the electronics in your house, the Sony, the TV system, your sound system, the microphones that you guys use to rap and speak about awareness for the Black culture and the hip hop culture. Where do you think that's made in? That's made all in Asia. And here's another thing for you guys. You guys want us to leave the neighborhood so bad? Oh, Asian people are in our neighborhoods. We're in white neighborhoods. We have our own Chinatown. We have our own Koreatown. You think we really need you guys to benefit off and make money? A lot of us do go to college as well. You're being outworked by immigrants who barely speak English. And you're not embarrassed? Go to the bank, start your own businesses, and deal with your own people. I want to see your own women get on their hands and knees and do pedicures and manicures and deal with nasty ass attitudes, okay? Please boycott Asian business. I'm all for it.
After reading your comment, I went ahead and did
I want to touch on what he had to say first. So he said he's all for it, that we should, boycott. They don't need us. And I'm like, first of all, you talking about two different things. We have no control over Sony and all of that stuff, like being imported into the country. That's not us. We're talking simply about businesses within our community. And another time, a couple months ago, we talked about the benefit of owning laundromats. Look into that. Like, that's an investment, you know what I'm saying, that you could have in Black neighborhoods and understand and employ people in the Black neighborhoods. I don't know. I think the beauty supply in my neighborhood is actually owned by Middle Eastern people. I'm not for sure, but they have employed Black women. There's nothing but Black girls and Hispanic girls working in a beauty supply store. So they're not over in the neighborhood harassing people. They're over here providing employment for them. So if it don't look right, then don't do it. But him, talking about we don't need it, then be gone. Like, it feels like he doesn't understand how he got there in the first place. And that, red lighting provided, opportunities for them in the hood. So, he didn't just go to college and work his way over there. That's not how that happened. You said he basically calling us dependent and stupid. That's what he's saying. He sounds kind of stupid if you ask me, because he's conflating two conversations. First of all, about Sony. You ain't Sony. We talking about the damn man at the gas station in the neighborhood. Don't go to his gas station. If you got companies or businesses in the white neighborhoods, then stay the hell over there. But, you don't have to come over here because, you don't treat us well because, clearly based on what you just said, you've been clear about how you feel about us. So why being over here? You said he doing too much. He running scared and want to act with bravado. What is he running from? Being broke? Being broke because now the people ain't coming to the store. You want to talk about microphones? And let's be clear, Black people are inventors of things. So we don't need all of that. You back to talking about some white folks in manufacturing, talking about microphones and things. That every, pretty much situation. What did he say? We invented everything. We did. Every situation that we have been put into as a culture, we found our way out and above above average. So we don't need you to create anything for us. Don't act like you invented everything. You said there are Black-owned mani-pedi places here as well as hair stores. Yeah, you in a place where it's a high population of Black people who have seen business happen. I don't know who that guy is. Anyway, we're going to find out a little bit more about this man that owned the store, though.
a little extra digging into Mr. Rick Chow, and boy, did I find out some information. You are 100% telling the truth, because this is not Mr. Rick Chow's first time being violent or shooting at one of his customers. There were over 100 911 calls placed to his stores in the years before this teen was fatally shot. Over 100 calls in the past 5 years to this store, to be exact, ranging from assault, larceny, shoplifting, motor vehicle theft, vandalism, robbery, and burglary. In May of 2015, Mr. Rick Chow tried to stop a woman from allegedly stealing 2 cases of beer and a pack of boiled peanuts. The woman from the incident report, who was not named, stated that she purchased the items. However, Mr. Chow denied that she did so. At that point, Mr. Rick Chow took it upon himself to physically assault this woman to get the items back. During the scuffle, the woman began to scream and yell for help. He grabbed the beer and her purse, and as she tried to drive away, he then shot at her vehicle 6 times. As you can see, he has a history of using his firearm in a deadly manner, even when the victims are trying to get away. In 2018, he accused the man of stealing Easy Off. So the gentleman threw the Easy Off back at him. At that point, Mr. Chow chased him out of his store and shot him in the leg over Easy Off. And these are just 2 of the incidents which led to the fatal shooting of a teenager. In the past, he wasn't arrested because per the South Carolina law, the conduct that he showed did not support criminal charges. Also, the police department determined that he wasn't the instigator, even though he was shooting at people. Material things and drinks or Easy Off is never the reason to take a life. Material things and beverages or cleaning products is never the reason to take someone's life. I truly don't know why this man wasn't already in jail per his violent behavior. In regards to the shooting of Cyrus, Mr. Rick Chow's son has still yet to be charged because the police department is trying to see if they should or shouldn't. They are seeking the solicitor's office opinion. To help them out, I think that you all should give them your opinion on whether his son should or shouldn't be charged. Here's their number below, 803-576-1800. And if you would like to write a letter, the address is right there.
Cyrus Carmack.
I'm going to stop there because, she goes on a whole tangent about, the Asian culture. So they just let this man continue over and over and over again to pow his community. No charges. Nope. Let's see. Ooh. Y'all been talking. I'll start here. You said if we learn about what they're feeding us and many of the goods they are selling and using on us, we'll know that it's unhealthy, unsafe, and patronize some other business. That's another thing too. A lot of their products have chemicals, that's designed to hurt us. How about he about to get these Asians a wake-up call? I think, it's about that time. It's about that time for them to get a wake-up call. Some people that wanted us to stand with them, yes, and others was doing Asian hate crimes. Others were doing it. That's when everybody was trying to be mad at them for the Rona and the pandemic. And then they wanted us to say something. It's not on the agenda. He needs to talk to his wife too, because she checked the young man before he left the store. I don't think they care. At this point, they've allowed this man to pow at people in the community with no result. He already shot somebody. Why do I feel like his son did it? A lot of people have said that. A lot of people have said that the son did it, and there was no way that old man ran 180 yards to catch that kid. You said this man's business is predominantly Black neighborhood. They have many locations, not just this one, but I'm willing to bet that most of them are. Homeboy said, they got businesses in white neighborhoods. Be outside shooting at some white kids and see how long you have a business in a white neighborhood. So after the man threw the product back at him, he still shot him. Yep. And this is why they did not want a jury to know his priors. Well, they should have. And would it have mattered? I don't know what's going on over there. It's just wild to me that he just got off scot-free. Like, not manslaughter, not nothing. What you saying, Jatoni? Thank you, Jatoni. I was feeling like a new look. They can still be charged civilly. Well, that's what's happening. I think that's what the family is doing. They're going to charge them civilly. I mean, going to go after them civilly, and hopefully, all of this information that's being brought out now about how he's treated people prior to this, hopefully that will help them come out on top in one way or another. Another case of charging too high. He would have gotten, you think so? He would have gotten manslaughter. Who did they do that for? It was somebody else they did that with too. I know that old lady that was in Ocala that pop-out the lady through the door. She got manslaughter, I believe, which was still like 15 years or something. She'll be in jail. Her health is declining. Is she still with us? I don't remember. So here's another one. This lady was, this is the energy they're giving y'all. So if you still want to be all up in the store, this lady got a message for y'all down to the hood.
And this is going to be an unpopular fucking opinion, and I'm going to call you out since you motherfuckers don't seem to fucking understand. Every single one of you over there boycotting Asian business and spreading more Asian hate, you fucking black fucking people with your black fatigue, okay? And what your people call niggerism. Yeah, not my words, those are your people words. You people that is living in that black culture mentality, the poor victim mentality, thinking that people still owe you fucking reparation. Yeah, you motherfuckers. I'm the one talking to you motherfuckers. Every single one of you failing in life, and then you want to blame everybody else. You see this whole Cyrus case and Mr. Chow? None of this would have happened if you motherfuckers raise your fucking kids right. That fucking little boy witnessed some of his business trying to steal fucking water, okay? Now, I might not agree with Mr. Chow chasing the fucking boy and shooting him fucking in Timbuktu, okay, wherever the fuck he was. But here's the crazy part. If you had disciplined your fucking boy right, he wouldn't be in someone's store trying to steal fucking a 50-cent bottle of fucking water in the first place, okay? Not only that, you go and attack the fucking attorney defending his clients. And then here's the truth of the matter. Your people, there are 7 black jurors who found your kid responsible, making Mr. Chow, okay, not guilty because they understand your fucking culture, your mentality. You failed your kid. Your society failed your kid. Your mentality failed your kid. That niggerism fucking attitude failed your fucking kid. Now, if you can't reflect on that, and if you can't understand and take accountability for your fucking failure, this will continue. More black kids are going to die. Your community is still going to struggle, and your people will fucking continue to be in poverty. No one's gonna give you a fucking handout. Stop asking for a fucking handout. Stop thinking you're gonna fucking make bank off your fucking kid's death, okay? What you need to fucking do is self-reflect on your people, your culture, your fucking community, and stop blaming everybody else. Let me tell you, boycotting the fucking Asian community, they're probably thanking God that your fucking black ass don't fucking go into their fucking store anymore to cause a fucking muck. This is gonna be
that's a lot of fuckity fucks. What is she upset for? Why is she this mad? Oh, where do I begin? I feel like this is not going to age well for her. I feel like we're going to see her somewhere down to the body cam footage, hollering at the police, the black police officer, to take his hands off of her. Why is she so upset? You say, ooh, folks just talking real bold, these internet streets. Yes, they are. So this is the thing. The movement is to boycott the Asian, businesses within the community and other places, if that's what you need to do. I don't need to go. We got Panda Express over here. I don't need to go to the Chinese restaurant, whatever. I'm just saying, if you don't want to be bothered with the community, and it inspired you to blow off that many fuckity fucks within, a 2-minute time frame. Why are you so upset? The people said, we just won't shop there. That's it. Now you going in on how the community is responsible for what happened to the little boy. That says so much about you. It's just, I feel like this lady's mentally ill. I would hate to have to be like down to the PTA with her badass child. I don't know that she got any kids. You said find out where she works and get her ass fired. I sent this video to Tizian. Probably a lot of people did, but I want to see him like pop up on my news feed, talk about, yeah, this lady, this is her Facebook. This is where she worked. Yeah. Are we going to see her again? I feel like we're going to see her again. Niggerism. Have y'all heard of that? I've not ever heard of niggerism. Can somebody explain? You failed your kid ghetto into college. You failed. What'd you say? Hell said, oh, she got the people heated over here, running her mouth about, the community. Our Thai food places has black teens working the counter. I asked one teen if she liked working there. I need to see. That's same in my neighborhood, El said. There's an Asian restaurant over here, but the people at the counter, they hire people, within the community. So it's not just them. We know who our allies are. You know what I'm saying? I've been in this particular restaurant, never been treated bad. Are they going to be affected? Probably, but it's because of people like her, if they are. It's because of people like her and this other dude on the internet running their mouth that are going to affect the Asian businesses that don't treat the community that way. Because now everybody going to be like, nope, it's just a no. You heard tenderism? I heard tenderism. I know what that is. But this lady said niggerism. She's going to make me say that all the time. Now, when I see some kids running around calling themselves taking over something, I'm going to be like, look at the niggerism. Now I'm mad I took something away from this lady's rant. She don't care about the Asian. She's married to a white man. She doesn't care about the Asian business. She just used this as an excuse to jump on black people. It seemed like it because her rant had very little to do with the Asian businesses, and she lives in a white neighborhood and her husband is white. And he found her on page 172. She was, Asian wife purchase number 13764 down to the Wayfair. Now she over here with a big mouth. Anyway, that's enough of that. If this isn't enough reason to, redirect your money, I don't know what is. And so, yes, if your Asian business doesn't have, if you see the mama, the son, the daddy, and all of that, y'all can keep it. This man, Mr. Chow, has various other businesses. Like I said, I'm sure they're probably in, Black urban neighborhoods. So even though they claim and they got businesses in white neighborhoods, I'll be seeing them. So you said girlfriend hasn't learned that a group of people who perpetuate that level of racism towards blacks feel the same level of racism and disrespect towards her people. And she ain't light skinned. You know what I'm saying? As an Asian, she dark skinned ish. So, you know what I'm saying? She got a kind of Mexican looking vibe to her. You know what I mean? So when she get pulled over by Officer Swifty, he ain't gonna know if she Puerto Rican, Mexican, or what she is. And she got a mouth on her, so she gonna start throwing around fuckity fucks. And I can't wait to see her dash cam. They vandalized the business that they did, as they should have. And they should keep doing it. For a while, they had the police outside, to make sure they didn't burn that thing to the ground. But I feel like, we need to find out where all his businesses are and make sure that he's not comfortable wherever he at. You said crabs in a bucket mentality. Proximity to whiteness, yeah. She gonna F around and find out. She got too much mouth on her. You said don't vandalize. They can collect insurance and vacate. Well, this already happened, Elsie. This is the store where the young man was unalived. So this already happened. And yeah, we need to know that too. It just don't go over there. I'm fine with not engaging. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. Some people gonna fall into convenience, but as a whole, if we don't start standing together, I don't know what to say. Epstein said that racism is the disease of white people. All the white races are stupid and inferior, judging by objective standards. Oh, you said Einstein said that. I was like, Epstein said that? That doesn't sound like anything Epstein would have said. Um, yeah, hopefully this lady finds her karma and soon. And hopefully it's on video so we can watch it take place. I saw this story the other day and I just had to touch on it because this isn't another example of we ain't even got to go over there, so don't even worry about it. I don't know. I've never heard of this brand before, but apparently they don't want to deal with us. Famous swimwear and fashion brand Cupshe is going viral for saying they're not working with Black people for a campaign. Thank you, duly noted. It was Cupshe. This is Dear Nicia. I guess this girl, she's a content creator from what I could see. Her name is Dear Nicia, and it says Cupshe told me they would not collaborate with black people this campaign. I'm writing on company domain. I run a talent agency. I pitched them on behalf of my creators. This was their response. This racial discrimination is illegal, and it happens. I'm trying to stretch it out. Good Lord. It happens in influencer marketing more than anyone wants to admit, usually just more quietly than this. So she reached out to the company as a talent agency, and their response was from Sophie, and it says, "Hi, Nicia. We would not collaborate with the black people this campaign." And I guess she's like, best wishes, girl. We not collabing with black people this campaign. That's wild. I feel like that they would word it that way. Yeah, I just find it interesting that no, we not gonna deal with no black people this campaign. You said we got to be strategic, no vandalism, and he has a watch. He has to watch his stock move or not. Yeah, we know vandalism is not the answer. Y'all still talking about the Mr. Chow. You said they rounding them up and sending them back to their country. So if they own work visas, good luck. Oh, wow. That's when you find out how your big mouth gets you in trouble. If enough people have something to say. We do need to be careful about stereotypes. People from different Asian countries are different and have non-agnostic relationships with antagonistic relationships with blacks. Thai, Filipinos, etc. acts different from Chinese. I agree. I have a very cool Cambodian friend who had to deal with fleeing the country, that she's from. Like I said, if you have a business within the community, I don't care what color you are, white, black, you need to be hiring people, Asian, Indian, Middle Eastern. You need to be hiring people within the community. That right there makes a difference. You know what I'm saying? So at least you bringing your business over here. The people that live here should be able to reap some of the benefits. We don't need you behind the counter, eyeballing people. That lady walked behind that boy, eyeballed him the whole time. The whole time he was in the store. And then now we know whether he touched that water or not. I feel like in that community, they should have been knew not to go over there because that man be shooting at people. That should have been word on the street. Anyway, the people not wanting to use Black people on their campaign, it's fine. We don't need to go over there either. The name is She Cup. We don't need to go over there. I will say, if you were looking for swimwear, it's so easy to spend your money, in places that are Black-owned businesses. All you need to do is go to the Google and boom, what do you find? Shop Black. And here's a whole list of Black-owned swimwear companies. Riot Swim. You can go, this one is Ofer. This one looks like Nakamuli. This one looks like it caters to plus size women, and that right there is fire. You put a good cover up on with that, and you're gonna be down to the evening pool party. You got for men. These are some really nice, unique looking suits. Ooh, now that's really cute. I like that. We don't need them, y'all. There's plenty of other options. It just takes a click. You don't always have to go over there to Amazon to find out what they're doing. You can just Google it and boom, all these options pop up. So we don't care about her campaign. We don't know who those people are, and we won't get to know them because they don't want us over there. Just that easy. Now, we don't want to see no cup she lady down to the internet screaming and hollering about how she didn't want no Black people over here anyway. We didn't ask for it. This content creator agency, talent agent was doing her job, and you asked her not to come back over there. So we won't. Good luck. That's all I have to say about that. We have to be conscious about how we spending our money. What did Tamar say? Point blank and the period. This administration got these people feeling like it's okay to voice and practice their racism. Some people that will be crying and asking for forgiveness later. We don't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? I don't get down. Ask a different person. I'm not about to be forgiving you for that. Stay where you at. And I appreciate them being vocal about it. So then we don't have to waste our time. You know what I'm saying? Or spend our Black dollar somewhere that don't want to use us as representation, but don't mind taking our money over at the checkout. So, yeah, there's other options, y'all. We don't have to do that. We don't have to go over there and buy anything from Cup She. We have options that are probably better, more catered to our body types and, the colors we like and all of that. So, yeah, there's that. What else we got going on? I saw this and I just was like, what the heckin'? Did y'all know this? I did not know this. Martin had a sister. Boy, and they share a face. That's wild. So Martin's sister was his inspiration for Shanae. I'm guessing she just recently passed away. I didn't see when, but yeah. It says, did you know one of television's most iconic characters was inspired by a real person? I figured it was a real person. I didn't know it was his sister. Martin Lawrence's sister, Ursula Lawrence, is widely recognized as the real-life inspiration behind Shanae Jenkins. I would hate that. I would absolutely hate that. Is that how she behaved? Was that how she was? Or was he just, I know he was adding sauce to it, but she was inspired. She do look like Shanae. I ain't even gonna lie. Was it just the visual? Anyway, the unforgettable character who became a fan favorite on Martin, from the attitude and the mannerisms to over-the-top comedic energy. Ursula reportedly served as the blueprint for the character that helped define an era of comedy. While Martin brought Shanae to life on screen, the inspiration started much closer to home. Unlike her superstar brother, Ursula has largely stayed out of the spotlight over years. However, she occasionally appeared alongside Martin at public events and even made appearances as an extra on his sitcom. Well, I did not know that. And R.I.P. Ursula. She's no longer with us, but Ursula, I don't want to say nothing mean, but Ursula and Martin got the same daggone face. That's for daggone sure. And I don't know. If I was Ursula, I would hate that that was me on TV. I'm hoping it wasn't the personality that made him feel like Shanae. I just saw this. And okay, I'll start here. So, an exclusive, Big Tigger's wife, I didn't even know he had a wife. Big Tigger's wife shares injury photos, alludes to abuse, and alleges affair with his new co-host. Here she is, like, performing for the camera. And the caption says, someone asked my husband why my face happened. So we supposed to ask Big Tigger why she looked like that. So the assumption is he did it, right? If she's over here crying, it looked like she got stitches already. And that looked like a lot of stitches, child. That looks like a lot of stitches. So we don't know how that happens. She's claiming that he's having an affair with this new co-host, which I'm not familiar with. I don't know where Big Tigger's show is. Maybe he has a podcast or something. I don't watch it. But this is what the article says. It says, exclusive, Big Tigger's wife posted emotional videos and photos showing visible injuries while making allegations about issues within their marriage. She also alleged Big Tigger was involved with his new co-host and appeared to suggest her injuries were connected to events that took place in the relationship, though she did not directly state what caused them. So did he do it, or was y'all arguing and you bust your face on the coffee table? Like, I hate these subliminals, especially when it involves, accusations like this. After we reached out for comment, his wife later removed the footage from social media. Well, clearly it's not removed. And we have reached out to all parties involved and have not received a response at this time. So then there's this. And it's her posting this busted face. And then the next, well, I want to say the next day, obviously.
Well, she was sleeping in her room, but we all know that is not happening. Big son's upstairs in her room.
This says, when your friends call for kids and not you, here's a global update. So she posted this picture of her face from when it got busted up. We don't know when that happened. And then she posted this.
Well, she was sleeping in her room, but we all know that is not happening. And Big son's is upstairs in his room. Of course, he doesn't go anywhere else. It's upstairs.
So that's very random. So first you posting pictures of your busted up face. And then, next day you're posting like everything's cool. You talking about Martin sisters. Both the Martin sisters started on Martin. They were in the episode with Gina's wedding shower. I'm going to have to go back. I did not know he had a sister with his same face. I don't think she did. That's the thing. Hope she went to the police and not just social media. I feel like based on the fact that she went and posted this video afterwards, she took it down and posted this video. How long ago was that? You know what I'm saying? And it sounds to me like she's a woman squirt. You say, come on, Tigger, where's your manhood, bro? Like I said, I don't know what happened. I don't know if he did it or didn't do it. What I do know is this lady posted a picture of her face busted up, and then she said, ask him what happened. Well, but you're over here posting it. And then, when you start doing stuff, the people come out, people come out with the drama that surrounds you. So it says, mom left 4-year-old for hours in the casino parking garage. That's what the police said. So let me read the article. And this is her also. So this happened like not recently, but this is the kind of person that, we dealing with over here. I, like I said, didn't even know Big Tigger was married, but It said, child, not the plot thickens like a pot of grits. Big Tigger's wife threw him under the bus when she said someone should ask him what happened to her eye, only to resurface Sunday morning like everything was all right. Well, leave it up to people that remember her for a different reason. Cyberbay, aka Alicia Brown, was arrested back in 2014 for leaving her child in a car for over 8 hours while she gambled in a nearby casino and spent 5 days in jail, allegedly. So, so she's a special kind of person anyway, because she, who leaves their kids in the car? Kim Zolciak. Attention seeking has become a harmful habit. It's true, Lotus Egyptian Flower. I don't know, I feel like both things can be true at the same time. But when you have these kind of behaviors, like Melanie Cherie been posting subliminal messages for the last 5 days over in her Instagram story. And I read them. I'm not going to talk about them because I don't want to get back involved with her and Martell's mess. But I do feel like you bring people in the business and then you back out and don't say what's going on. So do you want us to care or not care? And then now people are finding things, that you did in your past. Just because she did this in her past doesn't mean he didn't bust her upside the head. You know what I'm saying? But then you taking the video down and adding something else, it makes you seem unstable. Maybe you are unstable. I don't know. But we didn't even know Big Tigger had a husband. I just saw this. Let me see if I can refresh it. I just saw this while I was, doing this story, clicking on. So there's more information now. Now that this lady has come out here and did this, somebody needs to defend themselves, I suppose. It says the internet is shook following abuse and cheating allegations from Big Tigger's wife Alicia Brown. However, a source close to Francis Emiker, that's his partner, Big Tigger's radio co-host, is shutting down any claims of an inappropriate relationship with her colleague. Now, we don't want to hear from the third party. We want to hear it straight from the horse's mouth. The source tells the Shade Room, Francesca is in shock right now. Nearly 2 decades of building herself up in this industry, gaining respect from her peers, advocating for a Black woman, winning 4 Emmys because of her advocacy in her community, all for it to be ruined because someone she has never met tagged her in a horrific imagery. Oh, she tagged this lady saying that she was having an affair. There was an exchange, and I didn't know what it was all about, but source continued, Francesca has never been a part of a toxic situation and doesn't plan to begin now. As a respected journalist in this industry, she knows exactly how exciting it is to read salacious rumors and headlines. In addition, the source said her involvement in any of this couldn't be farther from the truth. She never thought leaving E! News in Los Angeles and accepting her job, her new radio station, would lead to this. Okay, so it's a radio. He's a radio host still, wherever he at. This lady says she ain't had nothing to do with it. If she just said she didn't have nothing to do with it, until more information comes out to prove otherwise, I think she ain't had nothing to do with it. I think the bigger part of the story though is not about her. It's about, Tigger, did you bust this lady upside the head? What has happened? She forgave him. Word on the street is that they're going through a divorce. So maybe that's what her problem is. Y'all, I did hear this, not husband, but there was a lot of talk about, what team Big Tigger played for. So, I don't know. It don't matter what team he playing for. But I want to know, did he bust this lady upside the head? Like, why did she post this? Tigger, were you over there being abusive to that lady that you were married to that be leaving her kids in the car? Sounds like a whole lot of mess over there. Big Tigger we ain't talked about Big Tigger since 106 in Park. As soon as he come outside, this is what the story is. That's unfortunate, Big Tigger. I want you to fix it. Those rumors are true. He's worse than Peter Guns. Which rumors are those? That he's out here putting his hands on women? Or, bending over and then letting his elbows touch his knees? I don't know. That's what the people was over here saying. Anyway, let's get into a little bit more gossip. Not about Tigger, but Beyonce, child. She out here in the news and it don't have nothing to do with her. Y'all, you bet that bitch when you cause all this conversation. How do you feel about this? So here's why Matthew's former mistress believes Beyonce should help her. Is that right? I'm sorry. Years ago, Beyonce's father, Matthew Knowles, welcomed a child outside of his marriage to Tina Knowles. According to reports, after Matthew's music industry income declined, a judge reduced his child support payments from roughly $14,000 per month to around $2,000 per month. Child. The child's mother, Alexandria Wright, later spoke publicly about the financial struggles. Please don't say you're having financial struggles and you're getting $2,000 a month, and plus what are you bringing to the table? Do you not work? Are you relying solely on that money? What happened when you was getting $14,000 a month? As you should have. He's the daddy and he should, definitely be responsible. Anyway. According to Alexandria, if she were in Beyonce's position and knew a sibling was struggling financially, she would reach out and offer assistance. Well, that's what you would do. That's not what Beyonce is going to do. Beyonce said, reach out to Matthew. This would be considered his responsibility. That's what Beyonce would say. You I guess feel like you feel, but I'm with Beyonce on this one. I'm sorry. It says she would reach out and offer assistance. Her comments immediately sparked debate online. Some people believe family is family regardless of how the relationship began and think helping a sibling in need would be the right thing to do. Why? I want to know why that's the right thing to do. Because I got it, because that ain't enough reason for me. Anyway, others argue that Beyonce had nothing to do with the circumstances surrounding the situation and should not be expected to assume financial responsibility for someone else's child. Matthew is not dead. Matthew is still here. Call him. I'm confused, girl. You just want to be, acknowledged by Queen Bee, and she's not doing it. Her loyalty is with her mama and what might be right, and family is family and all of those things. But she said no, she don't want to, and she's not going to. Call Matthew. Now, the internet is debating family obligations, wealth, child support, and whether successful relatives have a responsibility to help family members they barely know. What do y'all think? I think it's going to be a no, young lady. I don't know what you got going on in that penny little brain of yours, but it's going to be no. You are not, I'm not required to do anything. They say he has an MO and will now make folks think, oh, you talking about Tigger? Well, you know what? That's why that came out. And she might be a little bit cray-cray, but that don't mean you didn't bust upside the head with the bottle, Tigger. So, yeah. Unfortunately, down low men have a history in, I have heard that too, that, down low men, I just saw a story where this lady discovered that her husband was gay and he unalived her because she was going to divorce him. So Beyonce did not father the child. As thank you, El Cid. That's my opinion. How you going to make me financially responsible for Matthew's situation? I'm not doing it. They have made a decision not to even know that child. And I mean, I guess, child. I guess she don't feel no ways about it. Beyonce didn't have a baby with her. Ridiculous. Where the heck does she work? I don't know. She was doing well off of the 14,000 that she was getting per month, but now Matthew ain't making it like that. And so my guess is you're gonna have to get a job. That's a big boy. He don't need, daycare. So you got time to go find some type of employment, girl. I don't feel sorry for her. What if Beyonce wasn't rich? What if she was just moderately wealthy? You know what I'm saying? What if we're not talking about Beyonce? We're talking about, Brenda and her husband have done well for themselves. You know what I'm saying? But does that mean now Brenda and her husband are responsible because, my daddy had a baby with some trick? No. So, Beyonce can do with her money what she wants to. She has no financial obligation. And like I said, Matthew is still here. He's not deceased. So maybe you can, figure that out with him. This like Shamika thinking Wendy should support her and her child considering she created. Yeah. And for a long time, Wendy was, child. Now they over there getting their cars and things repoed. They can't afford car insurance and things. And that's unfortunate for them. He over here still trying to have his hands in the lawsuits and things and guardianship because he want to, make sure that him and Shamika are covered under Wendy's coin still. Family name is Knowles. No less, say less. No coin from over here. Don't feel sorry for you. Ain't Beyonce a witch? Ja Tony, you always gonna say something out of pocket. Is there another sibling out there too with another lady? I think it's a little girl. Matthew should have wrapped it up. I believe there is a little girl, but the little girl's mama probably is fine with her child support payments and she probably work. Maybe that's why she's not over here trying to beg Beyonce. And she gonna have to tell that boy why Beyonce don't want to talk to her or don't want to get to know him. Apparently, it's no less because Knowles ain't giving it. The woman needs to stay off social media, and it's embarrassing to her child. And now she's got a picture of him up here. Like I would keep him off of social media in terms of relating it to Beyonce and any of that. He looked like his daddy though. It's a good looking boy, but yeah, his mom gonna have to go to work. I don't know what to say. I think that's a ridiculous thing, thinking that Beyonce owes you anything. She don't even talk to that man, does she? Based on the situation that had happened over there. Okay, so we had some conversation last week about these kids down to the graduation acting a fool and such. So I just want to remind you of the young lady. You said the woman don't know Beyonce fired her. Yeah, she fired him. She don't even, I call him daddy at this point. I think that's Jay-Z's new name. Okay, so here's the young lady that was over here twerking down to the graduation. And I just want you to know she is not sorry and she's not the only one. Her mama.
In Spanish.
In Spanish, graduated is graduado.
Girl, I just graduado. Siri, how you say graduated in Spanish?
In Spanish, graduated is graduado.
Girl, I just graduado.
So clearly she got her diploma after she bam, boing, 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 down on this graduation stage. Her mother should be so embarrassed. I'm sorry. Anyway.
Siri, how you...
Hello everyone, my name is Typiana Campbell /Siki Sue, and I'm reporting here to talk about my discrimination. Wait. I've come here to talk about how I've been wrongfully done at Chicago Tech Academy and how I didn't receive my diploma because I did a split on stage. Now, a quick backstory, I've been telling these people for weeks that I was going to do a split on stage. It was not a surprise. They just thought I was joking. And that's the problem now. Don't think I'm joking because I'm not. So yeah, I did my split on stage And I walked across, and it was an area where you're supposed to take pictures with your diploma. And the person who was handing out my diploma, she was just looking slow. Well, excuse me, not slow. But she was standing there looking crazy. So I'm like, babe, what are you doing? Hand me my diploma. And she's like, I honestly thought that they mixed up my name and didn't have my name in the right order. I didn't even think that she was purposely not trying to give me my diploma at first. And then, hello, everyone. My name is Typiana Campbell/Siki Sue. Everyone's telling me, oh, just go back and get it, go back and get it. And I'm like, wait, you're telling me to go back and get the diploma, and she's telling me to keep walking. So what do y'all want me to do? So I was just confused. I ended up keep walking across the stage, and I was standing there for a minute. I was standing there like, I'm not moving until I get my diploma. I'm not moving until I get my diploma. Why didn't you give me my diploma? So I ended up sitting down. Long story short, everybody's like, sit down. So I had a seat. I went, sat down, whatever. After I sat down, I was escorted out of the graduation ceremony, and I was taken outside by a dean. And I was met with my principal, Shackleford, Miss Shackleford, Zatea Shackleford to be exact. And I was met out there, and she was beyond angry, like livid. It was genuine tears in her eyes, and her mouth was shaking. She was really, 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 really upset. And she's like, you need to figure out a way how you're going to make up for this. You're not getting your diploma until you figure. Everyone's telling me, oh, just go. Figure out a way how you're going to make up for what you just did. And I'm like, wait, I have to figure that out? Or do you have to figure that out? So, yeah, this was honestly just a confusing experience. Long story short, I ended up leaving. I didn't even get to do the left to right or right to left with the graduation cap because I was really upset. And then to end this off, the next line of students who went, a girl went up that stage and did a. So let me tell y'all something. That girl still received her diploma and everything. But my act, the whole world shook. So yeah, it's been countless of times where I've been punished more than another student just because of me. I think the school has something personal against me. Why? I have no idea. Figure out a way how you're gonna make up for what you just did. And I'm like, wait, I have to figure that out. I think it's because I'm happy, I'm glowing, I'm always outgoing, and most of all, I have money. I think it's because
Most of all, she got money. Clearly, she not sorry. I saw something up here. Elcid, you said some college withdrew her scholarship. I think, these are the consequences of your actions. And that makes more sense to me. Like, I feel like holding her diploma, she earned her diploma. So there's that. But now missing out on scholarships, that definitely is going to affect her, in a different way. As it should. Like I said, girl, if you want to twerk, I wish she would stop rubbing on them edges or whatever she got going on with her hair, girl. I think that's an appropriate punishment. Another channel said it well. This will follow her future because people see her in a certain way and limit her growth. Well, I feel like this video right here is worse than her on the stage. This video right here says a lot about the little girl's character. And I heard somebody judging the mama for doing the video. I guess, she created this monster. But I feel like her mother was probably just happy that she got the diploma in the first place. But her missing out on scholarships, if she continues to have this unapologetic attitude, it's going to affect her a lot more. Like when you get to college, there's sororities and other groups that you want to maybe be a part of that are going to evaluate you as not a good representation of them. No class, no taste, no self-respect. Why can't people act within decorum? What that lady say is because of niggerism. Is that what that lady said? It's because of niggerism. So when you exercise niggerism, you won't be bringing no class and no self-respect and no taste along with you. Both of those things don't go together. You said pretty little sister, just young. I agree, Tony. I agree that she's young. I agree that I have an unpopular opinion about the whole graduation celebration thing anyway, but you know, it's neither here nor there. Like I said, if there's rules set in place, then you're gonna have to follow the rules or you will reap the consequences of your actions. She said it's discrimination. It's not discrimination. You just don't believe they would withhold. Yeah, it's not discrimination. Based on this video here, we see what type of attitude she has. She's not humble. She's very entitled and thinks, that just because I did something, the way she won't stop touching her hair lets me know that she don't focus on much in class anyway. She be here, dealing with eyelashes and lip gloss and things. What'd you say, Pat? Good morning, Pat. It was not a smart thing to do, but she shouldn't be condemned for life. I definitely think this falls under the category of kids will be kids to some extent. But I also feel like, we're going to jump on the parenting for a minute. Why didn't her mother have a conversation with her? And this attitude is something that gets placated based on the fact that, nails done, hair done. She got tracks in, child. That's some expensive bundles. Her mother spoils her, and that's why she's acting like this. And she got money. So that lets me know she's spoiled. This maybe, just because you got money don't mean you don't be out here performing niggerism. So somebody needs to, guide her for one thing, but make her understand. And maybe it's the college years. I feel like she needs college. For sure she needs it. Because at some point she needs to be in a place where, she's held accountable for her actions. This don't feel like, we haven't heard her talk about what it must have felt like to get the scholarship revoked. But her getting her diploma and now she over here calling out the lady by name. It's not hard to just walk across the stage. It's not. But these kids want to be, go viral. They want to be on the internet. And she got more than she bargained for. And I guarantee she's looking at this like being viral. She's not looking at it like embarrassment at all. She's being rewarded for her bad behavior at this point. You said, I don't think she should be. If this is the only blemish on her record, the punishment is overkill. She got her diploma back. And I just feel like if you worked your way through school and you have, the grades, if you earned your diploma, taking it away because she did a split, it was a lot, And like I said, the revoking of her scholarship, now that is I think that's a punishment that fits the crime. Like that's the kind of thing. In them rich pockets that she got, the pockets that belong to her mother. Now I bet you her mother is feeling away now because she has to come up with that money that wasn't going, that was going to be a part of her college tuition. So, her actions ain't really done nothing to she's over here talking shit on the internet, but her mother is going to hit them pockets. And sooner or later, she will get it. Hopefully, she'll eventually get her diploma. High schools and hold diplomas for various reasons. Yeah, she got it. She got it. So that's why she's over here acting like, and see, I was discriminated against. And, she remixing the whole story. You said, yep, it's 2026. Extreme online attention can have negative consequences. Yeah. She finding what they say, F around to find out. It'll happen some more. As long as she keeps doing this, at some point she's gonna have to humble herself or, keep herself from moving forward. She earned a scholarship with her academic performance. She's very immature and making these types of videos is bad PR. Yep. She's probably got good grades, good enough to earn a scholarship. She needs to have some mentoring, I think, from somebody that she admires. Somebody that she looks up to should, reach out to her, have a conversation about, why this isn't okay. Because for us, she don't care what we got to say. She got money. She has an unreasonable sense of privilege and entitlement. Withdrawals of scholarships are extremely tough. She's entitled, but I think it's a lot of spoil. It's a lot of, she's in a generation where it's a lot of girls out there just like her. I'm about to show you. We had a lot of people had their diplomas held because they got caught toilet papering school the night before graduation. Kids be on some bullshit. They do some wild shit, skip day, takeovers, all of that kind of nonsense. You say a scholarship committee would not want to be associated with her antics. Nope. And when it gets down to time to go to school, those scholarships and all of those, that's the stuff that matters. You know what I'm saying? That can be taken away. She didn't earn that necessarily. She came over here and show her ass. A scholarship consideration does involve more than just your grades. You have to be a person that we want to be associated with our academy. And since you want to do this, like I said, this video here is worse. I'm sure her mother is extremely irritated. The child worked hard enough to get through school and make unenforced error. And I'm guessing her mother needed to have a different conversation with her. So instead of being down here to the internet making cute little videos with her, or not telling her, type that down. Now it's all the way to the shade room. So congratulations, little girl. Expect more to happen. She's not the only one. There's others. So this little girl, she came over here. I don't know about diplomas. They did not hold her diploma. But remember, she came over here and the man snatched her ass back and shake her hand. Y'all didn't like the manhandling of the little girl. I think the manhandling of the little girl was inappropriate too. She'll be all right. She's suing. She's pressing charges. I guess. I mean, sir, don't manhandle the children. He's not the only one. There was another one over here.
Right. Kick. No, that's jacket.
Oh, that guy. She didn't want to. She wanted to smack his hand. She didn't want to do no handshake. And he said no. Pulled her in. It's a lot of snatching going on. What is wrong with this child? What is happening? Why aren't you feeling more proud of your accomplishment instead of coming over here? I'm confused, child. I don't know what's going on. We got the boy down here fighting his daddy at the brother's graduation. Now we got these kids over here. They want to snatch and slap instead of shake hands. So this was not, an isolated situation. They were going on everywhere. This young lady over here, should she get her diploma held? It says, were they wrong? North Carolina valedictorian says her speech was cut short and her diploma was temporarily withheld after she mentioned families were being torn apart by ICE. Let's hear what she has to say.
Whether it's the millions suffering in Palestine, Sudan, Congo, Afghanistan, and so many other countries around the world, these are the families being torn apart by ICE. These are not distant issues. They are happening right now as I speak. My point is we're not given a voice to stay silent and to just... Whether it's the millions suffering in Palestine, Sudan, Congo, Afghanistan, and so many other countries around the world, these are the families being torn apart by ICE. These are not distant issues. They are happening right now as I speak. My point is we're not given a voice to stay silent and to just...
Now they gave her the stage. She was giving the stage to give her speech. They just didn't like what she had to say. Neighbors, a high school graduation ceremony in North Carolina sparked controversy after the valedictorian speech was cut short following comments about ICE. According to reports, Lean Hazaz was addressing Clayton High School's class of 2026 when she began speaking out about families being torn apart by U.S. immigration and customs enforcement. That's what you're supposed to do, girl. Moments after those remarks, the school principal can be seen taking Hajjah's arm and moving her away from the microphone as the speech was brought to an abrupt end. Not grabbed her arm. Does she need to press charges? Following the ceremony, Johnston's County Public Schools said Hajjah has gone beyond her approved remarks and that administrators stepped in to keep the event aligned with its intended purpose. Oh, okay. The district added the decision was not about limiting a student's voice. Yeah, it was. Hazaz later spoke on TikTok, claiming she was informed her diploma was being withheld, though she has not since said she received it following the public pressure. So what about this young lady? The dad was fighting the son and the son kicked his ass. Yes, I've seen that. Everybody was team son. The dad threatened the son before he got there. I'm just saying, down to the graduations, we got kids being snatched, booty twerks, splits. And, you know, the kids is fighting with their parents. Not her approved speech. So she did break the rules. She broke the rules. Is this a rule worth breaking? I say, shout out to this young lady. She broke the rules. Okay, so now you can give her diploma because what? And will she have scholarships revoked? I don't know. She's not Black, so maybe not. Maybe her parents can afford it. Probably the athletic scholarship because she don't seem that bright. Oh, wow. She probably is, and you know, she's probably book smart. Yes, she attends a white suburban school. You said sorry, I only watched the white folks fighting at the graduation because not only are people, yeah, it was a lot of fights going on at graduations. I seen one white lady get the dog smacked out of her because she took some lady's phone. She used her time to break the rules about systematic issues. Now that's how you go viral with applause. I agree. I'm not mad at her. I agree. She knew it was going to be, you know what I'm saying? She knew it was going to be controversial. She probably knew that she would probably not be allowed to finish, but this is what college students look like to me, that are not afraid to bring up, you know, the issues that we're dealing with in society. That comment was about the other girl. This dang on job. It's okay, High Vibe. You can put it in the comments. We still want to know what your opinion is. My opinion is, shout out to this lady. You said they'll probably rescind her scholarship unless she apply without serious stipulations. I don't know. I feel like if you're going to disrupt the system, this is the way to do it. And if you're going to jump down in a split, and that's definitely not worth losing your scholarship over. Why censor these speeches? The children are speaking about reality, and it's their reality. They go to work and they got Archie sweating them about the damn fries and things. They don't live the same life that we did. Yeah, I think this was definitely worth taking the risk for. This is what, you know, protest looks like. Her mother and father damn sure knew she was going to do it. You know what I'm saying? And they probably told her to do it. Do what you feel like doing. Why are we censoring speeches? Because they don't want y'all to give them a bad Google review. They don't want you to go and say how crappy the high school was. I seen an 8th grader went up there and snapped. It was an 8th grade boy, and he talked about how stupid it was for them to give a microphone to a young gay 8th grader, and he went and snapped on the mic. I'll see if I can find him. Anyway, we're going to end with this note, y'all. Y'all been out here. Wait a minute. Just end. How do children feel when their classmates and friends are snatched out of school from their homes? Right. And they've seen it. They have seen it. They have had to practice what happens when somebody that's armed enters your school. They have had to have drills, pretend to hide under the table if there's an active power, in the school. So these kids is dealing with a lot. They're dealing with a lot. They're being bullied from the teachers. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot going on. So I'm glad she said what she had to say. It's definitely not, more impactful than, doing the Dougie or, booty bounce splitting or whatever they was doing over here, trying to high five, slap five to the principal. The young girl is extremely intelligent. She was a valedictorian of her class, which says a lot. That's not easy to be. And she was not even a high school scholar. She's vastly different from the other girls because she's concerned about others. But we need more like that. That's where it begins. That's where it begins. This is like good leadership for the next generation. Somebody that's a peer of theirs, that is intelligent, like you said, and thinking about people outside of themselves, not on the damn internet talking about, and I was discriminated against, and it's okay because I'm rich. Girl, stop. You should be embarrassed, but you're not. And that's the sad part. We're going to end the show here. We well past lunchtime, so thank y'all for hanging out with me. It's Monday, so usually we have a lot to talk about. Y'all was out here trying to get some tickets to see Chris Brown. And this little girl was over here too. She was trying to...
I need to call Usher for this.
She called up.
Hey, Ush.
Hello? Yo, I'm in the booth. I'm gonna call you right back.
Wait, I need to tell you something.
Just one part down.
Where you at?
I'm at the studio, man.
My dad said I can't come to your concert.
Man, quit playing with me, man.
I'm serious.
No, for real. Don't play like that.
The ticket's too high.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
How you know?
Because he just told me.
Put that on everything.
I put that on everything.
Damn. I'm gonna call you back.
Wait, can you ask Jermaine Dupri?
I'm gonna call
Please! Usher! I need to call Usher.
She said, can you ask Jermaine Dupri? And unfortunately, Usher had to go. So Usher wasn't able to do nothing for her. I don't know that Jermaine Dupri had anything to do with it. But here come Chris Brown. Chris Brown been in the news like on a positive. I'm here for it. I'm glad to see Chris is out here doing things that are, not diabolical, baby mamas and things. Anyway, Chris Brown gifted this little girl tickets after he saw her freestyle, Gimme That. So she was singing his song.
Tickets. Tell them take over. Nice to meet you. I'm the princess. Now usually I'm really nice and sweet, but right now I'm in that mode. So give me that beat. Young princess from DC. So you know I'm about to get it.
I'm not gonna play the whole thing. We see little girl got skills. So she was out here telling the people she needed to get to that concert. I'm assuming she's with her dad. She in the back seat. She got a little skills over here on the ones and twos on the mic, and so Chris Brown, my team gonna reach out and give y'all tickets. Keep doing your thing, little lady. You are a very talented person, and always remember, work really hard for your dreams and everything is possible. That's very dope. I appreciate Chris Brown putting a good word in for this young lady, speaking something nice into the situation. My question is, who taking this little girl to see Usher and Chris Brown? Why? Is she young enough? I mean, is she old enough? I don't know. But she earned the tickets. So, your daddy right? You too young for the concert? She is. And look, now what you gonna do, daddy? Take her mama to the concert. I don't know if I want my baby down there, to the Chris Brown concert. But I do appreciate Chris leaving her a personal message. So that's, if nothing else, inspiration. She ain't got no business at Chris Brown concert, and keep her away from Usher, because Usher be over there, ruining relationships, out here stealing your girl and things. She needs to stay home. Usher better not feed them chairs. That's what I'm saying. And when Usher was over there with Diddy, so we gonna put a restraining order against Usher and the children. Anyway, y'all, that's all I got. I had fun with y'all today. It's Manic Monday. We made it almost through the lunch period. And so, yeah, I'm going to get on out of here. I hope y'all enjoy the rest of your day. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll be back tomorrow, 10:15, 10:30. You know what it is. Anyway, y'all, I'll see you when I see you. Bye, y'all.